Okay, we're back here in Ben Gurion Airport, and we're having a conversation with Byron Stenson about the red heifer that is about to arrive for the first time in thousands of years from abroad, from Texas. And my first question is, Byron, what is your connection with Israel?
So, as a child, I come from a family that fought bravely in World War II. I had uncles that were pilots that died in the fighting. I had a stepfather that came and fought on Normandy and fought all the way into Germany. He got his teeth shot out. He was there 3 years in the cold and the blood because we came from a moral background that believed that people should act morally. And we also knew that our nation was founded on Judeo-Christian values. In other words, everything we do is about the Bible and about the right things to do. When I was young in my family, that's the way it is. And so my whole life I've been drawn by my spirit to read the Bible, to know the Bible, and anyone that does that, I think they have to understand beyond any doubt that God chose Israel to prove to the nations and to anyone that wants to look that He is God. He can say from the beginning that He's going to do something like return His people to the land, and in the last days He returns His people to the land. So I needed to be connected because of that, and that's how we got here to begin with.
So, if you don't mind me asking,
Sure.
you're not Jewish yourself. You're of another faith, and that makes that for an interesting question. What is the connection between other nations and Israel when it comes specifically to the red heifer?
So I will speak as a Christian. I was raised as a Christian. But it's not just Christianity, it's Judeo-Christian. There is this combination. And so I believe there is a bloodline probably back to many, many Christians that calls us by the Spirit to be part of this land. And I think I'm one of those. And these people that are called to this, their hearts make them come. But that's what brought me originally. I'm sorry, ask me the question one more time.
As a Christian, what is your connection specifically to the red heifer?
So there's a covenant to Abraham, and that covenant is that you are going to be the father to many nations. So the nations that are founded under that covenant, which America is one of them, the United States, and there's many of them all around the earth. The Bible tells us there's going to be 70 godly nations come and connect here. And so that gives me a connection to the land, and that gives me a connection through the Bible physically to the people here. And it gives me a responsibility. The responsibility is to do more than just sit and wait for God to do everything, but it gives me a responsibility to join with my Jewish fathers of the faith that have been here sacrificing their very lives, working the fields as hard as they can work the fields, and changing this land into this beautiful land that's here today. And all these things have been done just as prophesied, and then it's prophesied that we from the nations will come and support the fathers of the faith like children. We'll come in like fathers and children, and we'll work together. And so when I was asked to bring the red heifers, to me that was a natural. I will come as an obedient child. I will work hard, and I will help try to find this red heifer and bring it to my fathers and say, I love you. Let's be unified, and let's strive hard to bring about love, joy, and peace to the earth through our combined faiths. Both faiths believe the same thing. Both faiths believe love, they believe in joy, they believe in doing moral things. There is a difference that we know in the belief about the Messiah. And sometimes because of that difference in belief in Messiah, and I don't have to explain that because everyone that hears this, Jew and Christian, knows what it is. Every time we look at that, it can be a place where we get separated from each other. And what we did between the fathers of the faith and myself is we made a decision. We will wait and let the Messiah clear this up for us. We will trust Him that He's powerful enough to let us just love each other, work together, take care of the land, and when He comes, He will explain to all of us who He really is and what He's all about. And so for now, we're just called to love each other, and that's what we want to do.
So the red heifers are not something you could just walk into a Walmart or Costco and pick them up. How did you come by these red heifers? How did they get into your hands, and how did you get them here?
So I've been blessed. I have a couple of companies in the United States, and I have technology people that work for me. We got busy. We did some technology. We went out and we got all the names of ranchers that we could find that raised red cattle. We sent out information by text to all of them, telling them what we were looking for. We took out full-page ads in some of the major magazines that go to cattlemen. We explained what we're looking for. We did hard mail follow-up with that to actually get to them. Then we started getting some response. And then we went out on site to many ranches. A lot of them, the cows were red, but they had 1 or 2 white hairs here and there. We had to find cows that had no spots, no blemishes. And the worst part was they couldn't have an ear tag because that's immediately a blemish, so they couldn't have blemishes. So we had to get to the ranchers before the calves were born. And they had to, these ranchers, and we blessed them for helping us. They got interested, and then they said, yes, we want to help. And by that, we found some cattle that were like 4 and 5 years old that were completely red, and they were having babies. So we just followed up, and we were able to find these ones, the ones that are here now.
So this was a collaborative of many different ranchers from different places. You managed to bring them all together to be brought here? Actually,
we had to it's only 2 ranches. And we looked all over the United States, and we found 2 ranches that were far apart. We traveled to those ranches. We took rabbis to the ranches. We inspected the cows hair by hair, and many of them. Now, we went to other ranches. We probably went to 20 other ranches and had some nice cattle, but those didn't work. But we eventually found 2 ranches that we worked with. And so in this group of 5 cows, we have 1 Santa Gertrudis cow, and then we have 4 Red Angus cows, and they have perfectly red hair.
Now, how rare is it to find a red heifer? I think that most people that are not that are city folk like myself, we don't really see the outside of cows. We only see the insides of them. But when you're traveling and you go by, I have 2 questions. My first question is the definition of the color red. And the second question is, how rare is it to find one which is completely red?
So it's extremely difficult. The only way we found it, I believe, is just by the hand of the Lord helping us to find them. The rancher that we got 4 of these cows from, actually, he started his ranch in the 1990s, and he chose the color red because he loved the story of Numbers 19, and he wanted to raise a red heifer. He never dreamed that someday we would show up looking for that red heifer and actually take 4 of his cows. Matter of fact, this rancher, he loves the Lord. He loves the Bible. He is so educated. He was a veterinarian his whole life, and he donated these cows free of charge because he too loves Israel with all of his heart and wanted to see this happen here in Israel. So his name is Ty, and he's a good friend. We've worked together through all of this. But yes, it's very difficult to find them, even in Texas that has hundreds of thousands of cows. So to try to find a cow like that in a place that really doesn't have very many red cows, it'd be almost impossible, I think.
Unless God wants it to be so.
Right. That's right.
Thank you so much. Thanks for this.
Thank you. Sorry about that.